Yeah, so right now the trail is about, I don't know, a few hundred feet up above the river, and it really hugs the side of the ridge here. The trail's kind of narrow and a lot of loose gravel, so you know, you want your hiking stick out for something like this. But yeah, we're leaving the burnt wood area and we're getting back into, you know, the green area. So we're hoping that we're gonna get a lot of coverage from trees soon, because it's due to be, you know, 100 degrees again today, so it'd be nicer to hike in the shade than it would be into the hot sun. So yeah, anyway, so the trail here from the trailhead probably is about the 5-mile mark, somewhere around there. And as you can tell, we're nowhere near the creek. The creek is a good couple hundred feet down. So this just hugs the side of the ravine for so far it's been a good half-mile, I would think, up and down and up and down. So if you're gonna hike this, the beginning of the trail, the first 5 miles, I would say is beginner. From here on out, so far it's been intermediate. So make sure you have good walking shoes, good hiking shoes for traction. There's some loose gravel here that you need to be aware of. I don't want anyone slipping down the ravine. So yeah, anyway, as you can tell, the path here is getting smaller and smaller, which means it's becoming less and less traveled. You know, as the farther we go out, the less you see of day hikers and the more you see of just backpackers. So yeah, the trail is a little bit more difficult up here. So here at about the 6-mile mark, you could tell that the trail is not as, you know, well worn as it was when we started, which means all the day hikers give up long before they get here. So this is all backpackers that come out here. I just saw a chipmunk run into this tree somewhere. Oh well, long gone. But anyway, we're coming down now. Luckily, we've been going up and down along this ridge for, gosh, a good mile at least. Now we're getting back down towards the creek and we're getting into vegetation again, which is nice. Well, we finally got down to the creek again. We were kind of in for a surprise though, because there's actually a sign down here that's just nailed to a tree, and it calls it Sunset Creek. So we've been following the Crooked River, you know, up along the ridge line. We lost sight of the river a couple times. So I mean, perhaps either it changed names or perhaps a branch of the river branched off and it became you know, Sunset Creek. But where we're at now, considering it's going to be in triple digits, we are in an oasis right now. The river's right there, you know, 100 yards away. We got plenty of shade. So we're going to call this our base camp until the sun you know, gets well along its pathway, and then we're going to start trekking back to our campsite, which is a couple miles back. I don't know how many miles we've done in total. I'm thinking somewhere 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there. But I'll see if I can find a topographical map when I get back and find out exactly. But we also saw some eagles soaring around. Not sure exactly what kind of eagles, but they were huge and they were really pretty. So yeah, we found a great spot. Well, we've hiked probably about 9 miles, maybe 10 miles, and we're going to turn back to base camp now and do the long trek. It's about 1 o'clock, and it's going to be hot, really hot, in about 2 hours. So we were hoping to get back to base camp, you know, by the time that happened. And I'm also starting to get a blister on one of my toes, so I don't want to push it and get any farther away from our campsite than we already are. So yeah, so we're going to be heading back, and hopefully we did encounter something. I don't know what it was, but right along the creek there's a lot of dense trees and dense brush, and Lee and I spooked something, and it was something large. I don't know what it was, but it ran, and you actually hear the trees crackling, and then a big splash into the creek. And by the time we ran around to the clearing to take a look downstream, there wasn't anything to be seen. So most likely it was a big giant elk or maybe a big deer. You know, who knows what it was, but whatever it was large, because it like shook that whole area when it ran up. I'm thinking it was probably a big elk, but you know, I don't know why I'm telling you about it. I mean, I didn't get a photo of it. I didn't actually see it. So there's really nothing to tell, but it was kind of exciting. So anyway, that's it for now. Well, we're back on the trail again. We're a good several hundred feet above the creek. We've ascended the ridge again. You know, I was thinking about it. Lee and I haven't seen another human being in about 24 hours or more, so we're way out here. We're expecting probably not to see anyone probably till maybe even tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be breaking camp at, you know, the crack of dawn and heading back to the trailhead. But this is a beautiful place to go. I would highly recommend you guys come here. You might not want to come when it's 100 degrees like it is today. Make sure you bring water if you do, though. Better yet, bring a water purifier. I don't know if you noticed, I'm in the shade right now. Every time I get to a good shady spot, I stop for a second, cool off, and then start back up again. So Lee's actually wearing a shirt that is soaking wet. He dumped it in the creek before we started up. It's a good idea. I got my hat all wet. Just whatever we can do to cool off. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun. So thanks for watching.